Okay, we can start, sir.
Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Maths Lit with Tapua for grade 10s here. Um, we were looking at measurement of perimeter, measurement of area. We're looking at that is the topic we want to cover. So in the previous week, we touched a little bit on measurement of perimeter. So we looked at this question. We looked at this question number 2. We calculated the area, we calculated the perimeter, we using these dimensions. So we were using the formulas that we are familiar with. If you are familiar with the formula for calculating area of a circle, which is pi r squared. This is the area for calculating uh, area of a circle. Then if you're asked to calculate it, you're supposed to remember these formulas, guys. If you're asked to calculate the formula for the perimeter of a circle, we use pi d or pi 2r. You should remember these. We touched on these last week. Okay, so we would use this, and of course, using familiar things that we know. For example, area of a square, which is side squared, area of rectangle, which is length times width. So these are the things that you are supposed to know. This is the background that you will be needing for you to be able to tackle these questions that we are going to be looking at. Okay, so we had a couple of questions. So let's continue with question number 3. I have question number 3 here. So question number 3. Okay, let's see. Actually, we did this question. We did question number 3. We wanted now to look at question number 5. Question number 5. Okay. So question number 5 is saying, Mr. the Lamins are wanting to redo the paving of the patio and replace the bricks with the cobblestones. The actual dimension of the patio are as follows. Length is equal to 6 centimeters. So whenever I have dimensions, I usually quickly want to write them. So it's a good idea if you are in an examination, you are given any dimensions. If it is wiser to just write them down. It will save you time to go back to the question and read it again, read it again. So you, whenever you have dimensions that make sense to you, just write them down. Okay. Part A says, if the dimensions of one cobblestone is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, how many cobblestones will be needed to pave the patio? We are given a hint here. So the hint is saying convert all units to be the same. Convert all units to be the same. Okay, this is part A. Part A, you see, we have 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. Okay, so if you are given that, if the dimension of one cobblestone is 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, how many cobblestones will be needed to pave the patio? Okay, so first we need to determine the area to be covered. We need to determine the area to be covered. Okay, what is the area to be covered? We need to calculate it using this information that we already have. Length of 6 meters and width of 8 meters. That is the space to be covered. Okay, so we say area of that rectangle. We know the formula to be used, which is length times width. So we say 6 meters by 8 meters. 6 meters by 8 meters, guys. 6 by 8, we have 48 meter squared. 48 meter squared. Okay, we have 48 meters squared. We are given a hint because there is going to be a division operation going to happen here. That's why they've given us a hint that says for us to be able to do this operation, we need to have same units, right? We need to have same units. For us to employ simple proportion, we need to have same units. Okay, so how are we going to change the units? Okay, we need first to convert this the area to be covered by each cobblestone to meter squared, because already we have meter squared here, right? How do we do that? We convert centimeters to meters. We convert centimeters to meters. Okay, how do we do that? We have 10 centimeters over 100, which will be equal to 0.1 meter. 0.1 meter. Okay, so what is the area to be covered by each cobblestone? So as you can see, the cobblestone is actually a square side by side. So we can use this formula, side by side, side squared. But what is the length of each side? Each side is equal to 0.1. When you say side squared, you get 0.01 meter squared, right? Okay, so this is the area to be covered by each cobblestone, and this is the area to be covered by This is the project. This is our project here. We need to determine that. So what can we then say? Now we are going to employ simple proportion. How are we going to employ simple proportion? The information that we have. The information that we have is saying 0.01 meter squared is equal to 1 cobblestone. Right? But the question is, we need to cover this much. This is the area to be covered. Am I going to use more than 1 cobblestone, or am I going to use less than 1 cobblestone? Of course, I would expect to use more, right? If it is more, the rule says a bigger number. Which one is the bigger number? This one. This is the bigger number. So we're saying a bigger number over a smaller number multiplied by quantity. Okay? These units that we said they have to be the same. That is the reason why we say they have to be the same. Okay, what do we have? 48 divided by 0.01 will get us 4,800. 4,800. This is the amount of cables that need to be bought. 4,800 bricks. This is the number of bricks that they need to buy. Okay. Do you think you got that, guys? Do you think you got that? Okay, let's look at question number B. Part B of the question. Question number B. Question number B is saying, cobblestones are sold in batches of 200. Cobblestones are sold in batches of 200. How many batches will be needed to be bought? How many batches will be needed to be bought? How many batches will be needed to be bought? So we're saying 200 bricks is equal to 1 batch, isn't it? 200 deep bricks is equal to 1 batch. How many do we need? We need 4,800. This is much. This is how much. Do you think it is going to be more or less batches? Of course, more. If it is more, what do we say? Over multiplied by batch. Okay. These guys will cancel out. We're left with right, 24 batches. This is the number of batches that they will need to buy if they are sold in 200 batches. Okay, let's look at question C. Question C. Question C is saying if one batch costs 129.99 rands, what will be the total cost of the cobblestones? What will be the total cost of the cobblestones? Okay, what do? We say one batch is equal to how much? One batch is equal to 129.99. How many batches do we need to buy? We need to buy 24. We need to buy 24 batches. We need to buy 24 batches. 24 batches. I would expect 24 batches to cost more than one batch, of course. So I'll say more. Okay. So if it is more, the rule says a bigger number, which is 24 batches, over quantity, which is over one batch multiplied by quantity 129.9, which is equal to what? So we are saying 24 multiplied by 129.99, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 3,119.76 rand. This is the amount to be paid. This is the amount to be paid for the bricks. Okay, this is the amount to be paid for the bricks. Okay, let's move on to question number 6, guys. Let's move on to question number 6. Okay, this is the question. Question number 6 says, Sam's uncle works for a company that puts up safety fences around swimming pools and nets over swimming pools. He must calculate how much fencing and netting they need for each of the following pools shown below. The fencing is always 1 meter away from the swimming pool. For each swimming pool below, calculate 1, the perimeter of the swimming pool. Okay, let's start with that. You want to calculate the perimeter of the swimming pool. Perimeter is simple, guys. We need to remember the definition. What is perimeter? Perimeter is the distance or is the measure of length around a given shape. That is perimeter, the length around a given shape, the distance around a given shape. Okay, we know the units to be used for measuring perimeter. We use units for length, we use meters, kilometers, and so forth. Okay, so let's look at the shape to be discussed. This is the shape. We want to find the perimeter. Okay, so let's look at the dimensions. Let's look at the dimensions we have been given. Okay, so from here to there, we are told that this is measuring 4 meters. Okay, so we have length. Length is equal to 4. Okay, sorry, 8 meters. Width of the swimming pool is equal to 4 meters. Okay, so we know the type of shape. The type of shape is a rectangle. So perimeter of a rectangle, guys, is just 2 times length plus width in brackets. This is the formula for calculating perimeter. Or you just add the sides if you don't remember this formula. Okay, so what are we saying? We're saying 2. What is the length? The length is 8 meters. What is the width? The width is 4 meters. Okay, so this is what we have. We have 8 meters plus 4 meters, which will give us what? 12 meters. So we're saying 12 meters inside. In brackets, guys, means multiply. So you don't need to say multiply here. If you want, you can do that, but there is no need. Brackets means multiply. So we're saying 2 times 12 meters. This is the same as 24 meters. Okay, so the length, the perimeter around that swimming pool is 24 meters. Okay, let's move on to item 2. Item 2. Item 2. Item 2 is saying the length of the fencing needed. The length of the fencing needed. The length of the fencing needed. Okay, so for the fencing needed, maybe we need to go back to the question once again. Let me check. Since Angle works with a company that puts out circuit fencing around swimming pools and nets over swimming pools, okay, he must calculate how much fencing and netting they need for each of the swimming pools shown below. The fencing is always 1 meter away from the swimming pool for each of the swimming pool. Okay, so these are the dimensions that we are given to specify to us what we are to get. Okay, so we need to find the length of the fencing needed. Okay, so we already have this volume. Okay, how are you going to keep into account the 1 meter we are talked about here? Okay, this is what we do, guys. So as you can see, the length before introducing the 1 meter, it was 8 meters. The one we used here, it was 8 meters. And we also used 4 meters. So we need to add in the length dimensions, we add 2 meters. 1 meter that side, 1 meter that side. So we are saying we have plus 2 inside the brackets here. We have plus 2 for length. Then the same thing for the width. The same thing for the width. So we are saying times 2 again here. Okay, so do you see what is happening? Do you see what is happening? So if we do that, if we say 8 plus 2, we get 10. Then you say 4 plus 2, we get 6. So we are saying 10 plus 6, which is 16 times 2, which is 32. So what we need to add here is plus what, guys? Plus 8. Okay, we need to add extra 8 meters. We need to add extra 8 meters. Where am I getting the 8 meters? From here to there, 1 meter. From there to there, another meter. Another meter, another meter. So how many corners do I have? I have this corner, 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. And those 4 corners are contributing each 2 meters. Because I'm going to have 1 extra meter there, 1 extra meter there, 1 extra meter there, 1 extra meter there. Okay, I hope that is clear to you guys. I hope that is clear to you guys. So here I will say 10 4 plus 8. This will get me to 32 meters. So this is how much fence they're going to need. This is the length of fence they're going to need if they put into account the 1 meter from the swimming pool. Because here we are having a width of 6 meters. It's a new dimension. If you want to use the formula, L plus W, the new length is going to be equal to 10 meters, and the new width is going to be equal to 6 meters. This is simply what I'm saying here, guys. This is simply what I'm saying here. Okay, so if you use these two measurements, they will get back to you this 32 value we have there. Okay, so this is how much they need to pay. This is the length of fence they are going to use. Okay, so this was question 2, the length of fencing needed. Item 3, the area of the swimming pool, the area of the netting needed. The area of the netting needed. Okay, so the area of the netting needed, we are using the actual dimensions of the swimming pool, the original values of the swimming pool. That is 8 meters and 4 meters. Okay, so we know how to calculate area of a rectangle, which is length times width. Don't forget the formula, guys. If a question comes in paper 2 and you're not given the dimensions, if you're not given the formula, you need to write the formula. It can get you some marks sometimes. So we're saying 8 times 4, which is 32 meter squared. Okay. This is 32 meters squared, guys. Remember, these are now meters squared. It's different from these values that we have been having here, because this is a perimeter, which is only length, while this one is area, which should have meters squared because it's area. Okay, so that is question number 3, the area of the swimming pool, the area of the netting needed. So the area of the netting needed, this is the area of netting needed. Okay, this is the area of the netting required. Okay. Okay, so we are done with the area of the netting required. Let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4 is asking us to calculate the cost of the fence. To calculate the cost of the fence, given that a single meter is going for 250 rand. A single meter of the fence is going for 250 rands. Okay, so how do we do this? We say 1 meter is equal to how many rands? We have 250. Okay, how many meters do we need to buy for the fencing? How many meters do we need to buy for the fencing? We calculated and saw that we needed to buy 32 meters. Of course, 32 meters are going to require me to fork more money than is being paid for a single meter. Okay, so what do I do? The rule says more. So what is the rule? If it is more, a bigger number over a smaller number multiplied by the quantity. This is M, sorry guys for the handwriting. Okay, meters and meters cancel out. What are we left with? 32 multiplied by 250. What do we have? 8,000 rands. This is the amount to be paid for the fencing. 8,000 rands. The Zamini have to pay 8,000 rands for the fencing if they are going to fence their pool, this rectangle pool. Okay, let's look at question number 5. Question 5. Question 5. Question 5 is saying the cost of the netting, is at 199.99 per meter squared. This is the cost of the netting. Okay. What is the area to be covered by this net? The area to be covered again is 32 meters squared. 32 meters squared is the area to be covered. Okay, so this one is simple enough, straightforward, like the previous one. We're saying 1 meter squared requires how much to cover? Requires this much. All right. How many units do we need to cover? We need to cover 32 units. Do you think they are going to cost more or less? I believe it is going to cost more. If it is more, a bigger number over a smaller number multiplied by the quantity. The quantity in this case is 199.99 rands. What do we have? 32 multiplied by 199.99 rands. What do you have values? What values do you have? Here I have 6,399.68 rands. This is the value I have. This is the value I have. Okay, so we have been told that you have to round the values to 2 decimal places. If you don't know how to round values to 2 decimal places, guys, let me just quickly show you here. Okay, so if you are whatever given, for example, you are being asked to do 2 decimal places, like in this case. So you count how many values after this comma we have here. So I have, if it says 2 decimal places, I count 2. So if it says 3 decimal places, I count 3. So here it is saying 2 decimal places. So I'm saying 1, 2. When I get to 2, I look at the value that is close to it. I look at 0. So I have 8 and I look at 0 here. If this value is less than or equal to 4, I will round. I will just write this value here, the value that is appearing here. So in this case, since 0 here is less than or equal to 4, since this 0 here is less than or equal to 4, I will just say 0.68. So if I had a value that was greater than 5, that was greater than or equal to 5, then I will round this up. I will have 9. If this one was 5, 6, 7, 8, I will have I will have 6399.69 here. Okay, so I got you. I hope you got that one. Okay, let's look at these parts here. So this is what we have. Okay, so let's look at the same question, but now using the formula for calculating area perimeter of a circle. Now, okay. Okay, so the first thing, area of, we want to calculate the perimeter of a circle. Perimeter of a circle, we use the formula pi g or pi 2r, whichever formula you use. Okay, so I will just say what is the radius? What is the radius of this swimming pool? The radius is 3.5, so I will say I'm not given the value to use. Okay, so I'm not given the value to use. In this case, I'll use 22 over 7 for pi. Then I'll say times 7, which is 3.5 times 2. 3.5 times 2 meters. These are meters. So this will give us 22 meters. This is the perimeter of the circular pool. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to do this one quickly, guys, because we actually looked at these the previous day. Okay, the length of the fencing to be used. Okay, the formula is the same, pi d. I'm not going to write the formula again. The formula is here, guys. So I'm just going to use 22 over 7 for pi multiplied by d. But now the d has changed. Okay, the d has changed. I'm going to use the value for d that I'm going to use now is going to be 4.5. I'm going to use 4.5 for the diameter because we have increased it by 1 meter. So I will say 4.5 meters. So this is the same as 22 over 7 multiplied by 9 meters. Okay, so what is the value I have there? 22 divided by 7 multiplied by 9. Okay, that should get me to 28 point. Okay, so I'm just going to store this value in my calculator. Like you have to store this value in your calculator. If you don't get any exact value, this is a tip for if you are in an exam, guys. So if you get into an exam and you find that through your calculations, you find that you are going to use this value later in your calculation, it is best that you store the actual value, not the rounded off figure. Because if you use the rounded off figure, your calculation will not be that accurate because you are actually using a value that contains errors, right? So if you can't retain the actual value, store the value you calculated. The calculator is so many storage places, A up to M, a lot of storage spaces. Okay, so I'm just going to store this value in my calculator, but I can also write the actual value, which is 198.7. I can also use this actual value, 198.7. Okay, so I'm just going to use this value in the calculation that will follow. Okay, so this is the length. This is the length of the fence to be bought. Okay, let's look at item 3. Item 3 is saying calculate the area of the swimming pool. The area of the swimming pool, you use the formula pi r squared. Pi is a constant, r the radius of the circle. Okay, do we have r? R the radius of the circle? R the radius of the circle in this question, R is going to be 3.5. So we're saying this is equal to 22 over 7 multiplied by 3.5 meter squared. This is the area. This is the area to be calculated. So we're saying 22 divided by 7 multiplied by 3.5 squared. 3.5 squared. Okay. Okay, let me see. Multiply by 77 over 2. You will have this meter squared because this is the actual value. I'm calculating using the actual values. So this is 77 over 2 meters squared. You can write it as that. If it is required for you to write it as a decimal place, you just punch in your calculator, you get the value, you round it off But I always want to use this exact value because they are more accurate. They get you to the actual value. It's more accurate to use rational numbers like this. Okay, I'm just going to skip question number 4 and move on to question 5 because we actually did this. So we're just reinforcing the concept here so that you get what we are dealing with. Okay, the cost of netting at 199.99 meters squared because it's the same thing, I guess. Okay, so the cost of netting, we're told that 1 meter squared is costing how much? It's costing 199.99. Okay, sorry guys, these are the runs. Okay, so we have 77 over 2 meters. Because this is more than this, we write more here. And the rule says if it is more, we say a bigger number over a smaller number. Okay, these are meters multiplied by quantity. Okay, meters and meters, guys. Don't be confused there, guys. This is a single number, so I can deal with it whatever way I want. This is just a single number. So this is representing 77 over 2. That is what I have. Fortunately, here I have over 1, so I have no problems how to divide that. So this is simply going to be 77 over 2 multiplied by. Okay, what do I have here? Multiplied by 199.99. Okay, the value I'm having is going to be in rands because those are the only units I have here. So it's going to be in rands. 0.615. Okay, so this is the amount of money they need to fork out. This is the amount of money they need to fork out. Okay, what do you think, guys? What do you think? In our previous one where we have been asked to calculate, we are dealing with 32 meters, and we found that they have to pay. This is the amount of money they had to pay. This is the amount of money they had to pay. This is the amount of money they had to pay. 6,399 because they needed to cover a space of 32 meters squared, which is a little bit smaller than this circular one. This circular one is a little bit expensive. This circular one is a little bit expensive. They need to pay 7,699 in comparison to this. About 1,000 rands more than 1,000 rands in fact. They need to pay more than 1,000 rands for the circular swimming pool. For the circular swimming pool, is a little bit expensive. Okay. Okay, so that is what I have for you. Okay, let's look at this last question. This is the last question for the day. Last question for the day. Let's look at part C. Part C. Part C. So on part C, what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the perimeter, that is the first part, and I'm going to calculate the area. So you go and look at part item 2 up to item 5. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to calculate the perimeter, and we are going to calculate the area. That's all. Okay, let's look at the shape. Okay, so this is the shape that we have. So I'm going to calculate the perimeter of the, okay, so I'm going to determine the length of the fence to be needed. The length of the fence to be needed. The length of the fence to be needed. Okay, so what is the length of the fence to be needed? So as you can see, we have something that looks like this. Okay, and then we have something inside it that is like this. Okay, so this is the situation we have. So we are told this is 7 and this is 2 meters. So this is also 2 meters. Okay, so of course, this information we already know this is 1 meter and also this is 1 meter here. Okay, so what do? I divide the shape. So I'm going to divide the shape. I'm going to have 2 shapes that I'm going to do. I have this here and the other part. Okay, let me just remove this. Okay. Okay, so I want to calculate the length of these sides. So the length of these sides is not going to change because we have 7. So I will just have 7 meters. So this is 7 meters and this is 7 meters. So I have 7 meters plus 7 meters. What do? I need to figure out these half semicircles. I need to figure out these semicircles. Okay, how do? But first I need to figure out the circumference of the circles. Circumference of the circle, I use the formula. I already know the formula. Formula is pi g. Pi is always 22/7. It never changes. D, the diameter of the circle. The diameter of the circle is what? I have 2 meters here. I have 2 meters here. That makes 4 plus 1 meter plus 1 meter. I have 6 meters. So this is going to be 6 meters. That is the diameter. Okay. This is going to be what? 22 divided by 7 multiplied by 6. So I'm going to have 132/7 meters. So this is the circumference of the whole circle. But do I need the circumference of the whole circle? Yes, in this instance, I do. Because if I take this part and combine it with this part, that will make us a full circle. So I add this part plus this part. This will give us this value here. Okay, then I need to say plus these 2 guys. So I'm just going to say 132/7 meters. So this is the value I have here. Okay, plus 14 meters. This is going to be equal to 230/7 meters. Okay, this is the length of the fence to be bought, guys. This is the length of the fence to be bought. Okay, thank you, guys. This is what I have for you today. Hope you can go and look at this question. Question item 2, the length of the fencing. That is what we did. The length of the fencing needed. That is what we did. So go and look at question 3, the area of the swimming pool. Using the formula, we know the formulas. It's a little bit complex than we have been doing, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just follow the steps that we have been doing. If you have any problems, just contact me. Africa Team Gigs, we are always there. Okay. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.